My name is Nnamdi. Not Dr. Nnamdi. Just Nnamdi. And for a long time, that alone wasn't enough. I grew up in Owerri, Nigeria, where your name must carry a degree, a profession, or at the very least, a plan. My father, Chief Okeke, used to say, a child without ambition is a goat with legs, moving, but going nowhere. So he gave me my name, Nnamdi. It means, my father lives. A blessing. A burden. And, apparently, a contract I didn't know I signed. As first son, I wasn't raised, I was groomed. From age 5, I had a stethoscope in my toy box and flashcard of body parts taped to the bathroom wall. By age 10, they were already calling me a doctor when I walked through the compound. Not because I earned it, but because they had decided. My father's WhatsApp display photo was me in a science fair coat holding a beaker like I discovered insulin. No pressure, ABI. I left for America at 18. I landed in Maryland in the dead of winter. The cold slapped me like village gossip. Everything was fast. Loud. People didn't greet you in the morning. Even the rice tasted confused. But I kept my head down. I had a purpose. Become a doctor. Make my family proud. Bring honor to the Okeke name. Only. I started hearing a different voice. Not the voice of failure, but something curious. Restless. It started small. In anatomy class, we were dissecting a cadaver, and the professor said, remove the liver. Instead of reaching for the scalpel, I thought, who was this man? Did he love someone? Did someone break his heart? That day, I wrote a poem. The next week, I filmed a short monologue and posted it online. 1 like. Still, something lit up in me. By the time I reached med school, I was already juggling classes with script writing, filming, and sneaking off to open mics. I would leave night shift rounds and perform at a tiny Ethiopian cafe in DC. I bombed. Horribly. One guy even yelled, go and finish med school, abeg. That first night, I stared at my reflection in the cafe bathroom mirror, wondering if maybe they were right. But I kept coming back. Week after week. I rewrote, stumbled, got heckled again, but I studied the crowd like anatomy flashcards. And slowly, the laughter came. Not loud. Not consistent. But real. But every laugh I earned, it hit deeper than any A I ever got in biochem. I told my parents I was dropping out after my first year of residency. My mother prayed. Loudly. My uncle said, have you joined the Ministry of Confusion? My father. He was quiet. Then finally he said, so you want to become a clown in America? Then he hung up. That silence hit harder than his words. I moved in with a friend. Slept on his broken futon in a one-bedroom apartment that smelled like ambition and unwashed socks. I drove Uber. Did voiceovers for $10 on Fiverr. Edited wedding videos where the bride's makeup looked like unfinished homework. I was broke. Not American broke. Nigerian broke. Dinner was 2 boiled eggs and noodles I seasoned with salt and hope. I once ironed a shirt using a pot of hot water. But I felt alive. I started a web series called The Word, about a Nigerian med student who drops out to chase the arts. Yes, I was that obvious. One day, I was leaving CVS when I saw him. My father. He was in town for a church convention. He looked at me, up and down. No hug. No greeting. Just, you see your mates. And then he walked off. I stood there, holding generic toothpaste and ramen noodles, wondering if I was really the disgrace he saw. But I kept going. I got a part-time teaching gig at a community art center. I taught immigrant teens how to write screenplays. One of them said, "Mr. Nnamdi, you talk like a Nollywood villain but you soft in the heart." I laughed so hard I nearly cried. Then the breakthrough came. A popular Nigerian comedian reposted one of my skits. It went viral. Suddenly, brands started reaching out. I got booked for a film panel. The word was picked for a black film festival in Atlanta. I wore the only blazer I owned, 2 sizes too small. But my smile fit. I didn't expect to win. But I did. Best Short Film. As I gave my speech, I looked into the crowd, and there he was. My father, Chief Okeke, sitting in the back. Not clapping. Not smiling. Just watching. I couldn't read him. But for the first time, he stayed. Weeks later, he called. His voice was thin. Old. "Nnamdi. I went to hospital. They said, my heart is tired." I swallowed hard. I didn't say sorry. I just listened. Then he added, "I watched your film again. That boy reminded me of someone." That was all. No apology. No grand gesture. But I knew what he meant. Later, my mother told me something I'd never heard before. Back in the 70s, before Nigeria's oil boom, my father wanted to be a musician. Played guitar. Sang love songs under mango trees. But his father, my grandfather, made him abandon it. Said real men don't chase noise. I wasn't the first dreamer. I was just the first to say, no more. A few months later, my father called again. Said he wanted to visit me. I almost dropped the phone. He came. Wore a senator suit with too much starch. I made jollof. He brought malt. He walked around my apartment like it was a museum. Touched my award on the bookshelf. Then he sat. And said, softly, "You didn't just leave medicine, you found another way to heal." We sat in silence. That moment. That was the healing. Now, I run a small production house. I mentor young African creatives. And sometimes I look in the mirror and say to myself, you didn't fail. You simply changed the assignment. My name is Nnamdi. Not doctor. Just Nnamdi. And that is more than enough.